Steelers-Eagles, amazing game. This would be the game of the week any other week, and maybe it was. You know the drama between those two. They're allegedly not friends anymore, blah, blah, blah. 3-3 early first quarter. Here's some friends hooking up. Bam! A.J. Brown touchdown back at the end zone. They got to dance.
Hey, they're pals.
They're doing that on purpose. They leaned in. Now, Saquon left in the second quarter, was gone, but then came back. You don't see that much. Saquon was held in check, did not have big numbers. He's not going to win MVP. Devontae Smith, touchdown. So it's like everybody's getting the ball. Sirianni on the sideline. And there was more Sirianni sideline stuff. We're showing the good stuff. Let's go ahead face-to-face with one of the assistants.
I'll go there.
You're going to go there?
We're going to bring it down.
Okay, good. We'll get there in a second. Fryer move. Touchdown. So the Steelers are trying to stay in this. They had a really bad fumble from Najee. I think it was actually right here. It's just Najee. It's not him. It's a veteran player who looks up and drops a perfectly good pitch and went right off his hands. You can't beat the Eagles in Philly if you make plays like that. He knows it. Then we got some tush-push. They're already up 20-13 at this point. It wins. This was a Jalen Hurts type of day. It really was. Then this. So you got this great matchup with Lane Johnson and TJ going all night. And then if you watch the replay of this, TJ's going to hurt his ankle. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I think it just kind of rolls over. He didn't get rolled up. He didn't get blasted by some second guy who came in. But he's got dealing with an ankle now. And we got this Christmas Day game coming up. We got another game coming up. They really need him. 27-13 now. I love some Gainwell. He's just going to get the first down. That's what he does. He gains well, and that's the game.
He had a big reception earlier in that drive, too. They had the ball with like 7 minutes left. Pittsburgh never got it back.
And there's the head coach of the Eagles escorting Nick Sirianni right there on the field. And there's Mike Tomlin. And it's 27-13. Our Eagles producers like that one. 27-13, Eagles 12-2. 12-2. They don't lose. They've won 10 games in a row. And afterwards, Jalen Hurts decided to sit down and have a little clap back, as they call it, to the media.
So that's what y'all want to see, huh?
Still some stuff that we can clean up and get better at, you know. It wasn't perfect. It was definitely moving in a good direction.
You had that celebration with Jalen after the touchdown. Was that kind of a good way to show people, like,
for sure. That was our moment to tell everybody to shut up.
The grass will be green where you water it. You know, we decided to water it, and we kind of saw the fruits of our labor. You know, we want to just continue to be well-rounded, push to be well-rounded and water all areas of our yard.
Okay, let's take a look at the playoff picture. You saw the Lions lost at home, which puts them 12-2, puts the Eagles 12-2. I want you to look at that third column. The Vikings play tonight. They win, they'll be 12-2. The Vikings actually control their own destiny.
I like it.
If they win out, they're the 1 seed. If the Lions drop one and the Eagles keep winning, the Eagles are the 1 seed. The Lions, of course, right now currently hold it, but it means nothing until Week 18, Jamie Erdahl.
I loved that quote from Jalen Hurts after that game, that the grass is only greener where you water it. Well, the Eagles in the fourth quarter of that game didn't allow the Steelers to water anything. That final drive for the Eagles took 10.5 minutes. It was pure, beautiful execution. It was foot on a jugular type of thing to end that game in Philadelphia. Steelers haven't won in Philly since 1965, and it didn't happen yesterday, Peter. What'd you like about this game?
You know, Philly, as we're watching Detroit and Buffalo and we're doing the points, Philly will just beat the crap out of you. They're going to get you in a phone booth and they're going to punch you in the face. They're going to be like, now try to leave the phone booth. Like, you can't. Like, that's how they win. And it's like...
What's a phone booth?
The phone booth. Remember the old phone booths? Yeah. After reading the yellow pages. This is like the toughest team inside the Steelers. You're talking Cam Hayward and T.J. Watt and all those big boys and they just beat them up yesterday. And I don't want to get twisted. This was a very close game at one point, and Cooper DeJean had a bad fumble. Hurts made a mistake early, and, like, the Eagles were able to dig out of it. But this whole us against, I can't really get around this whole it's us against the world thing. Like, A.J. Brown, you're the one who said what you said last week. And then Brandon Graham is a teammate of yours. He's the one who made it a national story. We, the media, didn't do anything. And then... just as we want to do the whole, it's us against the world, we're going to galvanize. What's the clip we have this morning? Bill Henschel, our wonderful producer, Philly-based, of course. Can you show me what I asked for this morning?
Let's see.
This is Clint Hurtt, the defensive line coach, and Nick Sirianni. Sirianni wanted to talk to Jalen Carter, and Dom's involved. And, like, keep your distance, coach. Like, we're good. Those are two coaches having words. Like, we're not the ones doing this, Philly. Like, this isn't us. We're not the ones who are making this happen. Like, the cameras caught it.
Yeah.
But there's going to be more questions on that, and that's going to be a story this week. And maybe that feeds and fuels you. But, like, I like this Eagles team a lot because they play a different style than the rest of these, Star Wars teams that just throw the ball up in the air, and I think that really works in January. I'm not sure I can do the whole "it's us against the world" thing because I'm watching it in real time. That there definitely seems to be some sort of inner fire and conflict during these games and after these games, and then maybe they use that to motivate. So I don't know. Let's see what happens with that story with Sirianni and a great defensive line coach, because I didn't make that happen, and I know my colleagues on the show didn't necessarily.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
I promise. I didn't do it either. Peter, I love the in the phone booth reference. It's like Rock'em Sock'em, right? You talk about the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes.
The Philadelphia Eagles, they're like that one friend that's at the schoolyard, and no matter where that one friend wants to fight, like they're ready for it, right? It doesn't matter if you want to go to schoolyard, it doesn't matter if you want to go to the gym, the cafeteria. These guys will fight you wherever and however you want to get down. And that's the thing about the Philadelphia Eagles. You don't know what the phase of the game they're going to dominate in. So it doesn't matter if it's the defense, it doesn't matter if it's in the trenches with the big fellas, right? Big Landon Johnson, big Jordan Mailata. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Okay, these guys can get down. So these guys got the big fellas in the middle. They obviously have things in the running game with Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. If they want to hit on that in the passing game, they can get after you as well. They had 2 100-yard receivers yesterday. So you just don't know how these guys are going to beat you, but you do know that they're going to be competitive. It doesn't matter what phase it is, they're going to get after you, they're going to get with you, and I love that about them, but you have to hate it at the same time because of what you guys just alluded to on the sideline. There's always going to be something that they give you and something that may take them out, and it's hardly ever going to be the opponent.
Isaiah, is that good though? Like, tell me, take it to. Is that good? That tension
on a team that's been very successful. Back when I was playing with early Dallas Cowboys, back when Jason Garrett and Coach Phillips were on the same squad. Coach Phillips was a defensive-minded guy. Coach Garrett was an offensive guy, obviously, and they used to beef at times as well. But guess what? It turned out pretty well because we was 13-3. So sometimes some locker rooms it just works. It's just from the outside looking in, it looks just a bad look.
It just looks like it looks bad, but it's not bad. Look, I grew up in a Nigerian household, and if you know any Nigerian family, you see when we talk with our eyes in our face, and you think, oh my gosh, they're mad at each other. I remember when my wife first came into this Nigerian household, and she goes, oh my gosh, everybody's mad at each other. No, it's just the way we communicate. That's the way it is on the sideline. It's just animated. You see the coach getting up there, but they take all of that and they use it as gas, as energy to feed this team. And the way they did it in a way where you saw AJ last week call it out. That was accountability, what we talked about. I said it last week as much, too. I said this was accountability. If I were the Steelers, I would be like, oh, yeah, they're going to throw the ball this game. They're throwing the ball, and that's exactly what they did. This was their second-best performance when you talk about their second-best passing performance. But take a look at the numbers. Jalen Hurts said, you know what? I am going to make sure that I equally distribute. Their numbers are identical. These guys are identical twins. Get a gum commercial or something. Look at these guys. I mean, 110, 109. I thought it was outstanding. Those guys were winning their matchups no matter what. I mean, you would appreciate the work that they were putting. They were getting physical. Porter, you saw Brown beating Porter off the line. I know. I was over there thinking I was a wide receiver too because I love the hand game that they were doing, but they were getting physical. You saw the cover one, no problem. Get your man. And they found Brown, they found Smith, so everybody ate. And when you have a well-balanced team like the Eagles,